Now I just gotta take whatever God got for me. The last shot goes straight to here. Boom.
Good. Alright, this is Flocck. Interview say 1. Mark, camera A.
Who Shot Flocck?
Yeah.
It sounds weird speaking of yourself in the third person. However, who Shot Flocck? It's a good question. And it's a question that I can't answer, to be honest. And I even like telling the story or writing the story to the point where I don't know, even though there's footage of who shot Flocck and there's evidence of who shot Flocck. It's just I'm not ready to see it until I'm done writing my own story because it's endless. I can write a endless story to so many different suspects, so many different corners that still haven't been turned, and to the point where once I'm done writing my own, not assumptions, however, what my spirit tells me, then I'll go back and get the evidence of who shot Flocck. But till then, I always blame myself, you feel me? I always blame me for who shot Flocck, because what I put into the world is what you reap back and what you sow, you feel me? You reap what you sow. And to this point, I think I just did more good things than the karma that I put into the world, you feel me? And God took away one eye and gave me my third one. So this was my gift on coming back. I had to do a trade-in. I had to trade an eye to come back to tell my story. And this is where I'm at now.
Take me to 2020 on the plane.
2020.
Take me through the day. You know what I'm talking about. California, you getting on the plane.
So 2020 starts off like this. Boarding the plane at LAX, I done put 17 units or quote unquote pounds under the plane, and I'm already hesitant, I'm already antsy, and I already got a poker face on the whole day. I made it through TSA, cool, the bags under the plane, now it's the easy part, and I'm still kind of nutty because I got a half a pound in my carry-on, and that's personal. That ain't got nothing to do with selling to nobody or nothing. So now when I'm putting my carry-on up, you feel me, I'm paying attention to detail at the same time. I know it's somebody at the window seat, I'm not paying them too much mind though. Putting my carry-on up top, and then once I close it down, the Latino's looking at me, he like, "What's up, Flocck?" I even get to the point where I'm like, "Nah, who's that?" He like, you Flocck. I'm like, I even look behind me like, "Somebody else you talking to?" He like, "Nah, I know Reggie." Who the fuck is Reggie? He's like, "Yeah, man, it's Reggie." I'm like, "All right, before I sit down, I need to know who Reggie is too." So I tell him like, "Look, go through your phone and call this Reggie you talking about." As if I don't know nobody in my life named Reggie. So he like, "All right, cool." He get on FaceTime before we gotta put our phones on airplane mode, and the guy Reggie shows up, and I'm like, "Oh shit, I do know this guy." I know him from midget football. You know, when you playing recreational football, you got your peewees, your midgets, and your juniors. We won 3 championships already in a row, and he was there for the third one, you know what I mean? So I seen him probably for like a good year in my life. However, at this time in my life, my parents got divorced, and I decided to stay with my father, where everybody else was with my mother. And I met these 2 kids down the street, Reggie and Terrell, that was living with their father. I never met their mother. I'm not even sure their mother was still around at the time. So that's how I know this kid, Reggie. So it made me comfortable to connecting with the Latinos. So now I sit down with them like, "Yo," plane goes up, and then we start chatting. And I'm like, "What you got going on?" Latino tells me, "I got 20 P's going to 757. I got them delivered. They going through the mail." I'm like, shit. I stopped playing with the mail. I lost damn near 80,000. I had to go back home to VA, get back right, you feel me? And then come back. So now it's to the point where if I'm not putting it on the plane with me, I ain't going at all. So he like, "Shit, how you do that?" I'm like, "Shit, get off the plane with me and I'll show you." So he like, "All right, bet." We talk, we chat, we get off the plane. Now I get to show him around my city. We land in Richmond, Virginia. I wasn't born in Richmond, Virginia. I was raised in Richmond, Virginia. I was actually born in Montecati, Italy. My parents from Cote d'Ivoire, they foreigners. So, and my parents got a elementary school education. And when I say elementary school, it probably stopped in 1st grade. Everything else was a hustle. Even getting us to Europe. Me and my older brother was born in Europe. He was born in a different part of Italy. I was born in Montecati, and then I was in the US States like 2-3 months. And I came from Georgia. So I always usually tell people I'm from Decatur, Georgia. In reality, I ain't from Decatur, Georgia. I was just there for like a year. And then I was in Richmond at the age of 2. And that's where the story begins. However, to get back to the story, we land in Richmond. Now I got my plug-ins here, and I got my connections, and most of my resources are here. Touchdown, we get to a rental spot. I'm like, "What car you want?" He like, "Shit, I can get anyone." Yeah, he gets an Audi, a black Audi, cool. I jump in an all-white Range Rover. Now, I'm acting like I got this much rank here. However, I got a national account that my bodyguard gave me and a BOA account. I can get any car I want to, I get him that too. And I give the manager at the national weed. So I give him some weed. Hey, you good? Slip him 100. You good? Yeah, cool. Everything paid for, and then we slide off. Now, this is when the story gets tricky. Now, due to the fact that I got this stranger with me, I'm ready to pass him off to one of my brothers. Like, yeah, he get 20 pounds. I don't need this money. I'm good. Everything I brought over here I already sold. And this play, I'm trying to disconnect myself from the city slowly but surely. So I'm gonna give this play to one of my bros. So I get him to meet me at this spot, but the spot we going to is my man Jig's spot. Now, Jig's story is kind of different. We played on the same football team that I told you won 3 championships on. Jig just decided to stick to football and end up becoming the #1 player in the nation and going to Virginia Tech. I'm not gonna say Jiggy ain't panning out because he wanted to smoke weed. Shit, he just had different ambitions in life, and he just wanted to get his college education and come back home. Cool, you feel me? However, that's when we get reconnected because shit, I'm going back and forth to Cali and shit, Jiggy ain't never stopped smoking weed, so he wanted to tap in with me. So cool, Jiggy ended up buying one of the bags that's coming over and I'm gonna bless him just cause shit, I want him to win. So Jiggy house is gonna be home base. We're gonna call that headquarters. We go to Jiggy crib at her headquarters, and then I got my right-hand man that was just out in California doing some modeling shit, and he seen everything I was doing as I was moving and grooving in LA. So when I get back, he hits me with a sob story like, hey bro, you know, shit kinda tough right now, you feel me? You can fuck with me, and it's my man's. I'm not thinking nothing of it. However, he's thinking twice of it because shit, probably a month before this trip, I came to him and asked him like, look, shit tough right now, nigga. McDonald's looking expensive. You feel me? I can't get a Happy Meal, nigga. Give me 1,000 real quick. And I know he got 1,000 because the same way he would ask me for 1,000, I would have gave him 10. At this time, though, it's just like rough waters and people changing. The more you separate yourself, or when you leave your city, people feel like you detaching from them. So I ain't been in the city. I've been in Atlanta and LA, so I'm just reconnected with the bro. So when I asked him for this favor a month ago, it was, hey, I ain't got it. Now, a month later, when he asked me, hey, let me get a bag or two, you feel me? Now, I can have the same energy he got, however, I don't. Because if I had the same energy he has, that makes me him, you feel me? And he not me and I'm not him. So yeah, I got you. That's the second party. That's the second person invited to the party. He ends up bringing the +1, a guy named Siri. We call him Smoke, you feel me? We just call Siri Smoke. He's in the Army now, he joined the Navy. You know how the nigga named Smoke, you feel me? So, but when he come back from the Navy, I don't smoke weed, I don't do none of this. Don't even call me Smoke, call me Siri. Oh shit, nigga, I didn't give you the name Smoke. Whatever though, you feel me? But that's the storyline, Smoke the third person. Then you got, who we got? We got Jiggy, we got your right-hand man, we got Smoke, and then we got my bro that I invite. I invite my bro cause, hey, this Migo get 20 P's. Hey look, that can be your play. I get them here for you, you get them going, we good. Cool. Same time, my bro kind of upset with me because I got him in a room with 4 other people and he don't want everybody in his mix. However, shut the hell up, I don't got time. I'm coming to this one spot, this one location, and y'all might not see me again. Cool. The 5th person happens to be a chef. And it's a full circle moment because it happens to be my fiance's brother now. You feel me? It was always her brother, but my fiance now. Her brother happens to be in the house. Okay, I wasn't expecting him to be here. However, I plan on doing a party in Puerto Rico for my birthday. So, hey, bro, how much you want to do a party for like a week or 2? Cool. All right, here's $100. Here's some weed for a deposit. We good? Hell yeah, I got you. Just give me the information later. Cool. I unzip my bag. I show him how I brought everything over from LA. I show them how to transport the money. I show them how to transport the cannabis. And in their mind, I know everybody in the room just flabbergasted. They just like, you really put all that on the, yeah, put it on the bird. You feel me? But in my mind, I'm thinking, hey, yeah, show them everything. Yeah, cool. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes and I'm in my own mix. I'm moving fast. So now this is a Wednesday where I meet everybody at headquarters. It's 5 people I meet at headquarters. Now, once I leave headquarters, everything else gets shaky. I get rid of everything that I need to get rid of. I'm cool. Now it's a Saturday. Well, it's really a Friday night going into Saturday. My flight leaves at 6:37 in the morning, and I'm up. I'm wired up for some reason. I can't sleep. I don't know what God got on my body, however, I cannot go to sleep. So I'm trying to figure out, man, 17, I would have brought more over. However, we got this rule. You're not going to bring more than 13 to 17. You're too loud, you're too hot, it weighs too much. You don't want to get caught up. However, if you want to bring another body over, you can bring more. And I'm like, all right, cool. Let's try to find somebody else. So this night I decided that I'm ready to count up 26,000, or 26.5 to be exact. I even got one of the big homies swapping out big bills. Like, I get a couple of your hundreds, I got to pack this. Cool. Now they're ready to go out and go to the club. I'm ready to follow them. However, I'm not going to the club. I'm ready to just go try to find another body to bring back to California so I can bring more units over. Before I go out the door, they put their hand on me like, yo, what you doing? I'm like, I'm ready to go out. They like, yo, didn't we tell you, like, just stop doing what you be doing, yo, you rap. I'm like, you better than everybody rapping, just rap. Matter of fact, stay your dumb ass in the house. I'm like, look, I'm in Richmond, I'm in the city, ain't nothing ready to happen to me here. It's my city, what you talking about? I'm a made man here. I'm ready to go outside, I'll be back. They like, all right, cool. They go to the club. I go off, I get one of my big homies, he like, hey, it's this girl Barbara, she can come with you. I'm like, you sure? He like, yeah. I go tap in with her. Like, look, I need you to come to Cali. I'll give you some money. I'll put you in the Ritz. You can go shopping. When it's time to go back to the airport, I'll put your bag under. We ain't even got to see each other. She just like, okay, nigga, I never met you before in my life. You gonna fly me to California, put me in a room. You don't want nothing from me, and you gonna give me money? Yeah, right. You trying to kidnap me? And then once she put that in the mix, I'm not even mad at her because my face don't look like I'm not gonna say it don't look like an honest one. At the same time, it don't look like somebody I trust just off of meeting them. You feel me? So I'm like, and it's before the eye. So I'm like, all right, cool, I understand. Take her back to her location. Then I get on the phone with like a girl from the past, and I'm just like, all right, look, where are you? She like, I'm in Roanoke. I'm like, Roanoke? Cool, I'm gonna come out there, but I still got all this money on me. So the type of person I am is like, I'm just not one of those dudes that pull up like, hey, yeah, I got 26.5, help me count it. When am I taking that much money to Roanoke? I don't even know what the hell is in Roanoke. Who goes to Roanoke? What's in Roanoke? Whatever. I'm like, okay, let me go back to headquarters. I'm gonna go back to headquarters and drop this money off. However, the way I moved is so strategic. I tell certain information or put certain pieces on the board that I can only move or tell what happens. So before I even call in and say, hey, look, I'm ready to drop this money off at headquarters, I just show up to headquarters. I pull up to headquarters, the scene looks the same to me. I'm the type of person that drives around the block once or twice, and I did that one time. I didn't do twice like I usually do. I drove around, cool, found the parking spot right in front of the door. Now this is where it gets spooky. I get out the car. When I get out the car, I'm walking towards the loft. It's College Loft. I get there, I can smell weed in the air. You know when you ain't smoking and you ain't hot, you can smell everything. So I smell the weed in the air, and it kind of smells like this strand I was trying to push called For Lotto. When I get around the car, I see the guy. His name's Ahmad. You feel me? I see Ahmad, and I'm like, oh shit, Brody, you smoking that For Lotto? He's like, yeah, I'm smoking it. He like, yeah, what's up, Brody? And I'm like, all right. I reach my hand out to greet him, just to give him a dap. Yo reaches his hand back out to greet me. At the same time, he freezes just like this, like it don't even come in. I'm already here with it. His hand stops right here, and his eyes get diluted, and they just get real big. They open up wide. I done been in the mix, like I told you. I'm far from a saint, so robberies, drive-bys, Lord behold, homicides or attempted murders. I've been somewhat in those mixes, so I know what this thing looks like. I know what it feels like. I know when it's there. When this guy freezes and his eyes get big, only thing I can think about is, oh shit, protect him. You feel me? What the fuck is about to happen? I push him as far as I can, as hard as I can, push him out the way. Now I got 2 pistols on me. I'm trying to get to one of them. By the time I can pull one of them out, I end up getting shot like in my hip. Boom, I lose like feeling in my leg. Now when I'm trying to reach for the other one, I can't. I get to the other one, but it drops after I get shot in the leg. Damn. The next shot, it's like I get hit right here in my stomach. When I get hit in my stomach, this one sits me down like a folding chair, a lawn chair. Boom. Now I'm like, oh shit. I fold. I just go back down. Same time, I got one of those type of, I don't know, you know how you can watch YouTube and there's certain things you shouldn't be able to see? I always take it back to the Nipsey video when I'm watching Nipsey die. I'm not even saying like I'm watching him die, I'm just saying his last words, and I don't even know what he's saying to this Eric Holder guy. You feel me? I just know Nipsey lifts up and he said something to him. And may have been cool, may have been disrespectful. However, I believe it was disrespectful because and made that fuck nigga kick Nipsey after he died. You feel me? So whatever Nipsey said, his spirit got off everything he wanted off his chest. I'm having one of these moments too, to the point where at the same time, I'm not ready to die for some reason. I lift up and I can feel somebody drawing down on me. I don't know if I see one figure or two figures. You ever watch Heat Vision? All you can see is like red. That's all I can see. I can't see figures. At this point, I'm thinking I'm seeing spirits now. So as these spirits are coming closer to me, I'm talking to them, but I feel like I know this spirit to the point where I'm like, the fuck are you doing, nigga? And he don't even speak. Yo lifts it up to shoot me again. I block it with my arm. Like I put my arm up like, bitch. It goes straight through, boom. In my arm, out my arm, it hits me. Skins me in my head. So now I'm like, oh shit. Then he's still not done. Whoever this culprit is, he's not done. You feel me? The last shot, the fifth shot, he decides to put it straight to my head, and now I don't have feeling in my arm to block it. I can't. My gun, the other gun's to the side of me, the other one's right here. Now I just gotta take whatever God got for me. The last shot goes straight to here. Boom. All I hear is rings. At the same time, for anybody else, I don't know how this works for other people. However, for me, it was as soon as that fifth shot went off, boom, I get up and I'm out my body now. Now it's to the point where it's like, forgive me if I pull this chair back, but now it's to the point where it's like, I'm out my body and I'm looking at myself on the ground and I'm like, oh shit. I always say this, the story never gonna change. It always gets back to the same thing. I always say, God damn, they shot the fuck out of you. They weren't playing with you, yo. And then I get down. I'm like, shit. See if you can get some help. Now my vessel is moving around, but it's listening to my spirit. Now my spirit is controlling my vessel to the point where I'm like, okay, this shit is really working. It's like a puppet or something. I'm like, yo, go in your pocket and get your phone. The vessel goes in his pocket, gets the phone. I always say it like it's a different person because I know like my vessel isn't connected to my spirit, and it's not going to be that way whenever I transition. However, in this realm, in this world, we're connected. The only time you see your spirit though is when you're sleeping, you're dreaming, and you think it's a dream. You feel me? And I compare it to this in a dream. I don't know how many dreams people have or what kind of dreams people have. However, in certain dreams, I've had a lot of dreams of dying or getting shot. And in these dreams, or in the dreams when you're fighting, you get sweaty, your body builds up in this other realm, your vessel feels it. When you get shot in a dream, it hurts so bad that you wake up. You feel me? You wake up and you pat yourself down like, whew, thank God that was a dream. Now in the real world, when your vessel really gets shot, your spirit wakes up. So now I'm not dreaming no more. My spirit is really here with me. So now I'm like, yo, get to your phone, get it out. The vessel gets the phone out, looks at me. I'm like, all right, call 911. I'm such a nut in both worlds, spiritually and in the real world. My vessel looks at me and say, call the police. Yes, dickhead, call the police, dummy. 911. We call 911 because I'm still like, I ain't telling. What? You ready to die, nigga? Call them. Boom, call 911. So now I'm whispering in my vessel's ear like, yo, tell him you down Commerce. Tell him you right by the loss. The vessel repeats it. I'm down Commerce. I'm right at the loss. I'm like, all right, tell him you got shot. You need help right now. He's like, all right, I got shot. I need help right now. And I end up coughing up blood like in the movies. It really happens. Like a chunk of blood comes out and hits me in my chest and rolls down to the point I'm like, ew. You feel me? But I can't say nothing because I'm really trying to survive right now. But my spirit like, ew, that shit look nasty. It look like the movies. So now I'm on the phone with dispatch and they're like, we're going to get help to you as soon as possible. We got a squad car that's close by. Me and the vessel look up and we see a squad car driving past, and I'm like, yo, the car just drove past me. Tell them the car just drove past. Vessel repeats it, the car just drove past. Now they stop, skirt. The doors open, doors close. I can see feet walking to me and I black out. That's when I end up blacking out. Now after I black out, I go to a place that kind of looks like this room I'm in now, this setup I'm in now. I always compare it to having a window seat on a plane. When you're on a plane and you're just looking out the window, now separate yourself from the plane and you just hear. You know when they tell you about these heavenly places or events, or everybody always talk about pearly gates. I didn't see any gate, I didn't see anything. I just seen bright lights. So when I see these bright lights, I end up seeing one of my brothers that died in the fire. His name was Billy D. Billy D died in the fire, and his death was always odd to me because it was just like, how does this nigga die in the fire? Why was it odd to me? Is because I used to be on my vamp life. I used to sleep throughout the day, and at nighttime I wake up and I go make my money. However, this day that he dies, he's the person that wakes me up out of my sleep. Like, hey, yo, you ain't go to the studio, you're not doing nothing. What the hell you sleeping all day for? I'm like, yo, look, I be up all day. I just went to sleep. I don't know, I think at 3 p.m. or something, I'm tired. You feel me? He like, look, you and your brother need to be in the studio tomorrow making beats. He like the Dr. Dre and the crew, the person that raps too, however, though none of us know how to make beats or be engineers, so he's gonna be the person that steps out of that comfort zone and be like, okay, I'm gonna make beats for y'all. I'm gonna learn how to make beats and that's gonna be me. Cool. Pushing us towards that. He even did my nephew, I'm like, yo, you know I'm gonna be at the studio, you gotta tell your man's downstairs, referring to my big brother, like, tell your man's downstairs, tell Nino he need to be ready. He tell my nephew, hey, Snoopy, tell your dad to be at the studio tomorrow. Snoopy repeats it. We watch Billy D, we walk out with him, dap him up. He like, yo, he's working at U-Crops, so I want to say Food Lion at the time, trapping and still doing what he do. However, he the first one that got a job. We ain't working. You feel me? However, he got a kid and he just got a newborn daughter. So he's already transitioning out of the streets and we can't see his vision, however we can feel it. Long story short, he goes to the crib. I'm up now, so I'm ready to go pop my Percocets. This one I'm on. I'm a perkyologist. I don't no longer do this. However, I'm into the game. I was into the guy. I could smell a Percocet a mile away. I know if you popped a 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, whatever the case may be. I'm not going off of the story. However, I'm getting calls this day like, hey, it's a fire at Billy D's house. Go to his house now. Nah, it's a fire. The fuck they want me to do? I ain't no firefighter. I'll be there in a second. Boop, 30. Another call. Hey, you went over there yet? You talking about around the corner? Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll be there in a second. What's wrong with them? Boop, another 30. 60 milligrams. I get the last call from the second call. Hey, you still there? You ain't go over there yet? All right, look, y'all doing too much. I ain't no firefighter. I said it's a fire, right? All right, what y'all want me to do? Bring some water? He ran out the house by now. You feel me? All right, just go over there and check. Cool. Boop, 90 milligrams. All right, I'm ready. Let me go check on him. When I get around there, I go to his spot. All I can see is when I'm driving through, I end up seeing my right-hand man, that one person that I was talking about that was in the crib that asked me for a favor, and my cousin Dada. They stop at the speed, it's like a speed bump. We all stop, I look left, they look right, and they just shake their head at me. They don't even say a word to me. So I'm like, what the fuck is that about? I hit the gas, vroom, driving, boom, going over speed bumps. By the time I get there, I see firefighters, police officers, and I'm drifting. I get out the car, I don't even think to the point where I know I put it in park, but I don't even think I would have cared if I didn't put the car in park. Car could have kept rolling. I just get out the car and I'm walking to the point where I'm about to go into the house that's on fire. Until by the time I look down, I'm fighting firefighters because they're on me and I'm pushing them off until Billy D mom comes out there and she's like, look, that's my son, let him go. I'm like, oh, where D at? They like, we don't know. Then they come and it's like, we found one person in the house and it wasn't the person, his only teeth, we got it, only dentures in the house. So we like, what? And Billy D, the only person is in the house, so we still asking about his daughter and them. However, God work in mysterious ways. His new baby mother, his newborn, and his daughter just went to his mom's house 15 to 30 minutes prior to the fire. He was in there drunk, high off perks, went to sleep, high, died in the house. We identify him by his teeth. So back to this world that I'm in, that's the first person I see. So when I go towards him, I'm running towards him actually. By the time I get to like, as far as I am from John right now, the image turns on me, it changes. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? However, now I'm seeing the figure of my mother. So I'm like, oh shit, Ma. So now my mother's story is unique. Like I told you, my parents foreign us and they got an elementary school education. My mother came to me early this year, months early. She's like, look, Dad, I'm named after her father, so she called me Dad. She's like, look, Daddy, I want to go to China. I ain't trying to go across the street and buy hair from them no more. I'm trying to go to the source. Inquisitive thought. So I'm like, okay, cool. Okay, Ma, I can see the hustle in you. I see where I get it from. Cool, let's go to China. I'll get you a ticket. Let's go. Cool. Get her a ticket. I'm not even in the process of her booking her ticket. She ends up getting a 2-day delay in Dubai, and that's how she goes about it. Cool. My mom goes to Dubai. She has a tour guide. She's there. The second day she's there in Dubai, before she gets on her plane, her hotel catches on fire. My mom and the tour guide jump from the 3rd floor, and my mother dies. The tour guide's cloth, her shirt gets caught in the building, and the firefighters was able to save her. And without her story, we would never know what happened to my mother in Dubai. At the same time, my mother's a foreigner, so we can't transport her body back here to bury her. We got to bury her in Dubai. At the same time, my whole family is Islamic. My real name is Amir Raphael Fofana, you feel me? Amir means high spiritual, the prophet of Muhammad. Fofana means first, meaning like the first name they gave to a person, the first name they gave to a human. That's what Fofana means, the first name given to somebody. So I know who I am, I know who my family is too. At the same time, at this point in my life, I'm kind of thrown off by this, because it's just like I'm putting more of the blame on me. Like, damn, I shouldn't have got that ticket. Then I had to think about it, pray on it, pray to my spirit, and my spirit told me she was going with or without you paying for that ticket, and I accepted that. At the same time, back to this place I'm at. Now when I see my mother, I'm trying to approach her, because I haven't seen her in a while. So I'm like, yo, Mom, give me a hug. She like, nah, I can't give you a hug. I'm like, what you mean you can't give me a hug? I'm mad, I'm furious. You feel me? I'm angry. I'm not even hearing what I'm really hearing. I'm just living it at this point. So I'm like, what do you mean you can't give me no hug? Like, what? Why? And she like, you got stuff you need to do. Stuff like what? What I need to do? She was like, your brothers need you. Your sisters need you. Your nieces and your nephews need you. And then she was like, and your father needs you. Mind you, I told you my parents was divorced probably when I was in 2nd grade. So when she says your father needs you, my last words to my mother was, you don't even like that nigga. Now I sound like Kanan off of 50 Cent show. You feel me? Raising Kanan. You don't even like that nigga. I wake up, I'm in the hospital, I'm seeing bright lights like this room I'm in now, and I'm kind of confused. I look to the right where my basketball coach Scoop's sitting at right now. I see my father in the same position, and he gets up, walks to me, hands me 2 Qurans, put his hand on my shoulder, and then he walks out of the room. When he walks out of the room, and the hospital got really bright lights, it's cold in there, and I can see like wet marks on the floor. So I'm like, oh, this nigga was crying. He didn't want me to see that? No, okay, respect. All right, off with him. Not saying off with him, I'm just saying, okay, I see him when I see him. Now it's to the point where I got the realization that I'm not where I was just at anymore. I'm back here. And before I say what I gotta say, I just want the world to know, the audience to know, I appreciate every day that I wake up, every second that I get to breathe, all of the little things in life like walking, breathing, talking. Because when I woke up, I had a patch over my eye. My mouth was wired shut. I couldn't talk. I had a trach in my neck so I can breathe. And I had a tube that I had to eat from. Like, the tube was what they was squirting stuff in me. I was just eating Percocets. They was crushing it up, putting it in this water formula, and then shooting it back into my stomach. So this was my life for like the next 2 months. At the same time, I don't know it. In this moment that I'm in right now, I just want to go back to wherever the hell I was just at, because when I seen my bro Billy D and my mother, I swear to God, Michael Jackson and Tupac was rolling me up a blunt with grabba in it. Fuck what you talking about, Scoop. They had grabba. They had grabba in the blunt, and they was waiting for me. You feel me? And I couldn't get through the door. Like, I was trying to get through the door. Now I'm back here in the MCV hospital, and I'm confused. So before I get up and start moving, Pete, before I get up like I can, I decided to close my eyes to go back to wherever this place I was at. So I closed my eyes for like 2 minutes. I opened them, looked around. Okay, I'm still here. This must be a joke. Let me go back to sleep. I'm gonna wake up where I was just at. Probably a good 10 minutes I closed my eyes. And I keep saying eyes because I still believe I got 2. I wake back up like, God damn, I'm really here? And that's when the quote, hell on earth, registered to me a lot different, because I'm like, damn, I really seen whatever they think heaven is or feel like heaven is, and wherever I'm at now, this ain't it, and I don't want to be there, and why would y'all even give me a glimpse of what I just saw? However, I'm here now, let's deal with it. I try to get out of the bed, I fall. I don't know that I have a rod in my leg now from my knee to my hip, and I can't walk. And it's throwing me off. At the same time, like, all right, let's crawl back. Doctor's coming in, help me get into bed. I'm kind of irritated because it's like, what the hell is happening to me? You feel me? And what am I here? Now to the point where it's like, okay, how did this happen? Who the fuck shot you? What's going on? Now my brain is to the point where it's like, I'm not missing anything, I'm not losing anything, so I'm just like, headquarters, that fucking house, that apartment. Why would somebody be waiting for me? I got there on Wednesday. I never had no plans on going back, and I get shot on Saturday at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning? Who the fuck got that much time? Okay, I got shot by some broke niggas. Only people that don't go to work or don't got no money or no family waiting from Wednesday to Saturday. But what broke niggas? I know, I'm not saying I'm the richest person in the world, however, I know how broke people activate. At the same time, who shot me? And now I'm feeling like it's one of the homies. One of the kids I grew up with in high school or something like that. And I'm like, who would be that angry with me that want to take me out of there? Or how many people are working against me? To the point where I'm like, okay. Who was in that house?
I'm gonna stop you there because you talk about high school, and I know when people hear your story or do their research on you or listen to your music,
For sure.
or just see you in person, they're gonna create this idea of who you may be or what type of man you are. But from my research, you took IB classes.
I took IB classes over AP classes because it wasn't so much harder than the other. It's just in AP classes, there's as much people in this room that's in the AP class. You might get 6 to 8 people. At least in IB, I still get 15 to 20. And I already knew I wasn't gonna be in classes with none of my friends that I be with my whole life. I'm in classes with extraordinary kids or kids that above the curricula, you feel me? And kids that actually want to do something. And a lot of my friends, they don't even want to go to school right now. And at the same time, that's why I chose IB over AP. And being in those classes taught me a lot. I mean, it was different work that we had to do, more work that we had to do, and it was a different surrounding. And at the same time, a lot of people be saying, like I always say, I'm not a saint. At the same time, I was never a dummy or just grew up. My path in life was my cousin sell drugs, my brother sell drugs, my brother's a rapper, my cousin's a rapper. It's either coke around me, dope around me, weed around me, or perks around, pills around me. So it's not something that I'm not accustomed to. It's just something I don't want to get used to. So at the same time, I want to be the first person in my family to go to college. These are my dreams, my aspirations. I want to be a lawyer. Why I want to be a lawyer? Because I watch all the trappers. I watch all the kingpins. I watch all of them, and all of their demises are the same. They get caught, and the first thing they do is they either gonna leave with money hidden, a lot of material things that they keep, a closet full of clothes. However, all of their money go to lawyers and to get them out of the jam that they put themselves in. So I always think of the end game, means to an end. I got that from a coach named Coach Curtis. That's where I met Scoop from too. You feel me? Playing for Coach Curtis, and the means to an end. So when I got the gist of all of that, it was just like, all right, I'd rather be the lawyer before I be the kingpin, because I believe they both get the same kind of money and one person gets to avoid being out of jail.
But yet you still ended up in the streets. Take me to how that happened.
Okay, so how do I still become this, I'm not gonna say kingpin, however, this dealer that I try to avoid being my whole life? It all started at a hotel party. My god brother has a hotel party. He plays for a different basketball team. He plays for a team called Thomasdale High School. I went to a high school called Meadowbrook High School. Even though I grew up in the city, the schools that we go to are in the county. Good kids, good surroundings, good education. Cool. So at this house party, not even a house party, it was a hotel party. We ended up getting 3 rooms that's two attached to each other, 1 single room. And upstairs we had a spare room, 4 rooms and 1 hotel in the south side of Richmond at the Q Club. At this party, we go there. My god brother's getting intoxicated. He ends up passing out. So now we're mingling. There's 2 different groups of people mingling. There's kids that's really from the south side that go to school in the county, and kids that was really born and raised in the county, all in one area. And there's only one person it's only one disconnect, or one person that can connect us all, and that's my god brother that's drunk now. I decided to start shooting dice with the guys, shooting dice with them. And back then, like, it's a little bit of money that was won. However, when you in 12th grade or just graduating, $150, that shit's like $1,000. You feel me? Especially when you don't got a job or nothing, and lunch is only like $3, $5. It's a lot of money. However, we shooting dice. 2 of my bros ended up losing a little bit of bread. I think like $20, $40 a piece or something. They went to go sit off in the corner. However, my right hand and my left hand, man, they not even from my part of town. They not from Southside. They from the East End. They more the cruddy side. They from the projects. These my project guys. At the same time, I know what's going on when I see them in a room talking to each other. However, I'm there to de-escalate any situation that can happen. After I win this little money from them, I'm about to grab it and go do some pause. Not when I say gay shit, I'm not on no gay shit. It's just back then I learned this from Pimp C and them. Anytime you want to be in a room or running a train on a girl or some shit like it's gay. You feel me? You got to be in a room saying some stuff you're not supposed to be saying. It's gay. Even though that's something that people told us back in the day. Hey, yeah, you want to run a train? You want to be doing groups, orgies, Diddy shit, no Diddy shit. A lot of Diddy shit was going on back then and people was letting this shit go down. Anyway, I'm about to go upstairs to do some Diddy shit. Pause. No gay shit though. You feel me? Record one of my guys, do some stuff, whatever. I get the bread, I'm going upstairs. Before I can get upstairs, one of the guys bumped me and changed my trajectory. I move a little bit. So now it's to the point where I'm like, damn, I'm thinking it's a friendly conversation about to take place. I'm like, yo, you bumped the shit out of me, you good? I didn't know I was dealing with Tupac. Nigga, not saying it was Tupac, but he had Tupac spirit. The guy looks at me and said, well, bitch, you ain't say excuse me. That's when everything goes south, no pun intended. The room lifts up because they don't know that we have 4 rooms full of people that came with us and there's only 5 of them. And then we got 4 rooms full of people. The whole room lifts up and my 2 project friends in the back, and they was plotting already. You just gave them all the ammunition they needed. And they run in front of me before I can even speak again. Now they got kids hemmed up, they grabbing them. And like I said, I ain't a saint. I go up to one of the kids, they got a chain on. I touch his chain, take it off his neck, I look at it, it's not even real. You keep it, put it back in your pocket. I'm going upstairs. When I'm ready to go upstairs, I already know my right hand and my left hand on me on all type of bullshit. Whatever, they not me, I'm not them, I'm leaving. I'm like, yo, get my god brother real quick. I get my god brother, I put him in the car, I drive off, I leave the scene. I don't know what happens after that. My brother, 2 Trail, Nino Green, that's what we call him, off of the movie New Jack City. My brother ends up catching an attempted murder this same week. His first attempted murder, he got 2. His first attempted murder, and we end up sending him to Baltimore. Like, look, go to Baltimore, hide out here, you're gonna be okay. Cool. He there for like a week. I end up sending some money off on a Friday. And then I call my cousin to check up on my brother. So when I check up on my brother, I'm like, yo, y'all good? I'm talking to my cousin though, like, y'all good? Everything cool? Copacetic? He like, yeah, everything cool. I'm like, all right, where my bro at? What y'all doing? He like, why you keep saying, yo, I dropped your brother off last week? What do you mean you dropped him off last week? Nigga only been there for a week. He's like, yeah, he said he missed his kids and shit. He wanted to come back home. What do you mean? I just sent the nigga money yesterday. How the hell is he? Matter of fact, call him. Call my brother on 3-way. He pick up the phone. Hi, yo. Bro, what the fuck going on? You here? Yeah, my bad, little bro. I meant to tell you that. I appreciate the money you sent me, but yeah, I couldn't stay out there too long. I'm like, bro, why the fuck would you come back? In the midst of me saying that, I hear a knock on the door. Boom, 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 boom. Whenever you hear that, like if you've been around and you know the sound, they there. Feds at the door. So he like, damn, I think that's them. I'm like, you sure? He like, come on, you heard that shit. I'm like, what you ready to, boom, get down, freeze. We still on the other end, like, just listening. Get on the ground, get on the ground. Do you have any guns or weapons in this house? Boom, then we hear the phone hang up. I tell my cousin I'ma holler, feel me? I end up going down the street. Go down the street, I'm at my bro's crib. I end up getting a call from my cousin that's at the house. She like, hey, come back to the house, the police wanna talk to you. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, what they want to talk to me for? They must think I'm my brother. Me and my brother look somewhat similar. And at this time, I don't do nothing that's bad. And I got 1 week away before I'm going to San Jose City. That's a JUCO. I had 3 scholarships. I had Virginia State, I had Virginia Union, and I had San Jose City in California. I opted to go to San Jose City in California because they was promising me, hey, you come here, play half of the year or a year, we'll send you to San Diego State to play with some kid named Kawhi Leonard. Nobody know who Kawhi Leonard is at this time, not even me, to the point where I'm like, okay, whoever that is, I just want to go to Cali. Let's go. So when I go back to talk to the detectives, when I get out the car, I get blitzed, tackled, boom. They take me off my feet. I'm on the ground. The fuck is going on here? But I'm arrogant, very arrogant, to the point where I'm like, ha, these dumbasses think I'm my brother. Okay. let's do this. He's like, you know why we're arresting you? I don't give a fuck. That's my response. Now I'm in a squad car. They taking me downtown, and they put me in a room by myself. Interrogation room. I remember the detective name. The name was Detective Cutshaw. I'll never forget his name because this one white guy ended up changing my life in a 5-minute interview or a 5-minute conversation in this interrogation room. Now, prior to this, a backstory. One of my guys, the guy said, asked for a unit, a pound in this room in headquarters. This is my guy I went to high school with, and he's somebody who ended up making me an Instagram because I would have never made myself an Instagram. I don't really care for like the Instagram stuff. However, I had an Instagram for 2 days. Every picture that's on Instagram happens to come from this hotel room that I never took. So I'm still arrogant. When they sit me down, they're like, yo, you know why we got you in this interrogation room? I'm like, nah, but I got a guess. They was like, what's your guess? I'm like, you dummies think I'm my brother, right? He's like, your brother? No, we locked your brother up earlier today. We know what he did, but anyway, they put this Instagram picture in front of me, and when I see the Instagram picture, I'm like, holy shit. So I'm not in here because of my brother? They like, They circle my right hand and my left hand's faces, 2 project kids from the East End, and they got their names right there, both of them. They got Lil E, and then they got Stu. These are the 2 names that I'm saying. So at this time, I'm like, damn, they on to us, or they on to them. However, the detective comes out and says, hey, look, we know you had nothing to do with it. The kids say you didn't have nothing to do with it. However, you know these guys. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I know a lot of people, and I don't know them for real. He was like, you in a picture with them? I'm like, I play basketball. I'm in a picture with a lot of people. I'm in pictures with mascots. I don't know who Larry the Lion is. Who is that? So he's like, okay, well, if you don't tell me who these guys are, 4 kids got robbed. I'm gonna give you a gun charge for each kid. I'm gonna give you a kidnapping for each kid, and I'm gonna give you a grand larceny. So before you do anything, I'm gonna give you 7 felonies, and I'm gonna let you know this is how it's gonna go. If you don't crack within the first 2 to 3 months, we're gonna bring you back in here. We're gonna give you 7 more. I'm like, all right, whatever, ain't no way. I don't got no priors. I ain't never get suspended from high school. I'm still graduated with a 4.2. I got college credits already, and I'm telling him like, look, buddy, I'm 1 week away. Not even a week, I'm probably 5 days away. I get on a plane, I go to California. I don't know what you're talking about, it's had nothing to do with me. Yeah, whatever, it is what it is. So when I get locked up, I'm in the jungle. They throw me in the jungle, you feel me? I gotta fend for myself. Long live Pip. If it ain't for my bro Pip, who I met when I walked into the jail cell, that taught me how to cook and taught me how to move when I was in there. Shit, I don't know, I was a fish out of water for the longest.
Now, after all of that, somehow you still end up doing your passion of music. So I want you to take me to 2018 Atlanta and those moments with MMG and how you really kicked off in your music game after your traumatic experience months later.
Okay, so after I get out of jail, I beat the 14 felonies. I hire a lawyer called Craig Cooley. I get out there. We don't even put up a fight. They let me walk away with 13 felonies dismissed. I only got to fight 1, and that's because of my brother. He got me a driving charge. Long story short, the judge said, I don't know, you and your brother look too similar, and your brother was in here earlier this week, and I can't tell you who's sitting in front of me right now. Dismissed, get out of there. Once he tells me this, I'm like, all right, one thing, I'm gonna start growing my hair because people really think me and this nigga look alike. We gotta change that. Then I'm like, okay, let's try to go do basketball before I get to Atlanta. I try to go play basketball. One of my guys hit me like, yo, Union still wants you to go there. I went to a workout. I probably did like 3 jumping jacks and 1 suicide. I'm like, all right, 1 second. I go in the bathroom, I Earl, and I've been playing football since I was in 2nd grade. I ain't never throw up in no workout. My body different, my mind different. Jail fucked my body up, and I'm not ready to get it back 10-10. So I'm like, time to go get some money. Time to do everything I try to stay away from. I try to stay away from the drugs, try to stay away from the streets. However, what just happened to me in the court system and the system that we in turned me sour to the point where it's like, mainly I want revenge, but I just don't want to go about it that way. I always say it's a million ways to make $1 million, and right now I'm picking one. And my basketball coach, one of the best coach I had in high school, however, the best thing he could have ever did was put a movie called Hoop Dreams on for me. for me to see the reality of playing basketball, the reality of chasing a dream, and how you can have 20 kids on one school and only one kid is gonna make it, and the other 19 gotta figure out what to do. Me, I already knew what to do, get some money. And rapping was something that everybody was pushing for me, not I was pushing for myself. Like, bro, you know how to rap, you should do all this, yada, yada. So it's like, all right, cool, let's do it. My brother was already a rapper, my cousin was already a rapper. I was already around the rappers praying that they made it. I decided to take that leap of faith and go into Atlanta. I ended up plugging in with a guy named Shemaine. That's his real name, but his industry name is Beat Billionaire, who is Rick Ross's in-house producer. And before that, that wasn't even it. I ended up going to Atlanta because of Bankroll Fresh. I did my first feature with Bankroll Fresh, which happens to be his last video that he ever shot before he died. Bankroll Fresh gets me to go to Atlanta, however he calls me. Bankroll calls me and says, hey, Flocck, you need to come to Atlanta. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever, I'll see you down there. Then it's a kid named Young Crazo from 757 who ended up calling me from Atlanta. Crazo calls me. I pick up the FaceTime and I'm like, yo, what's up? However, it's not Crazo on the FaceTime, it's Bankroll Fresh. He like, hey, your man from 757 down here, why you not down here? I've been waiting for you. I'm like, damn, they lit another fire up under me. So I'm like, I see you soon. I'm shooting a video for my bro. I'm directing this video in the city and I meet a guy named Tracy, the director. He's like, hey bro, I see what you're doing out here in Richmond. I think I got a small movie role for you in Atlanta. Do you mind taking it? I'm like, all right, cool, let's go. I go shoot a movie out there. And then I decide to go to the studio. I go to the studio, I tap in with Bankroll Fresh. He like, damn, I missed you, I'll be back tomorrow. That tomorrow came a little too early. That day in the studio, I guess Bankroll Fresh and one of his homeboys, no cap, they get into it, a squirrel. Bankroll loses his gun in the fight. After he gets the best of him, he decides he wants to get his gun back, but takes a chopper outside. And neither here or there, however, Bankroll ends up shooting the chopper one time outside to tell him, hey, get my fucking gun back, and they end up returning fire. And there's probably over 150 shell casings that was found that day. I think Bankroll died off of one shot that ricocheted off the wall, hit him in his back. So now I'm in Atlanta with my key to the city that's dead now, and that's when B Billionaire reaches out to me like, hey, I see you in Atlanta, come do this MMG thing. Cool. I tap in with the MMG thing. He introduced me to two guys that I think is cool. He's like, hey, this is the money, you feel me? Cool. A guy named BD, $1 billion BD, and a guy named Jay. I got a tattoo of BD that's on my arm, and I'm foreshadowing now. However, you can, by the tattoo, you know he's no longer around. So I learned a lot. I soaked up a lot of game from BD and Jay. BD was more the flashy, upscale trapper. Jay was more of the quiet, I do Wall Street, I do numbers, I'm gonna tuck my chains. And if we going to the club, I'm gonna pull up in a Honda Accord when y'all pulling up in whatever the fucks. Cool. So in the mix of that, now we're doing the MMG thing. We start our own group called BDM, $1 Billion Market, Mish, B Billionaire, BD and J. Before I get introduced to Atlanta, they like, hey, have you been to the clubs yet? Have you did this and that? I'm like, nah. They like, so how you gonna rap about it? I'm like, shit, storytelling. They like, nah, you gotta go to the strip club. I'm trying to tell you, this is what we gonna do. I'm gonna give you $10,000. You better throw every dollar, because if you leave with $1, that means you a stripper and you shaking ass. What? All right, just don't leave with no dollars, I ain't stripping? Cool, whatever. I get in that mix. Now I'm seeing different money. I'm seeing a different lifestyle. I'm seeing not a cliche, but BMF lifestyle, blowing money fast lifestyle. I'm not even around people that I'm not supposed to be around. I'm around the Walker Flockers. I'm telling Metro Boomin, we the new BMF while I'm in the office with him. And he probably looking at me like, nigga, shut up. I deal with Future and 21 Savage every day. Who the hell are you? You feel me? However, we still in the same rooms, rubbing shoulders. So I'm feeling like, shit, this MMG thing is really a thing. They giving me MMG chains, however it was blinding me. The industry got a lot of smoke and mirrors. Now Jay pulls me to the side one day and tells me, look, before you get sucked into this music shit, I want you to see these smoke and mirrors. You see this guy that's giving you this MMG chain? Look at these text messages. Now I'm seeing text messages when I'm saying like, hey, appreciate you paying my rent, and my wife says thank you. Wait a minute, what? Ain't this the guy that's supposed to be our way in the industry? Now when you got MMG weekend, when everybody's coming down and flying out, I end up meeting Tracy T. I think Tracy T was like the illest person that I encountered, because Tracy T told me, like, in a way, without telling me, like, yo, you know what you're doing? I'm like, yeah. He like, yeah, just don't believe everything you see and take your time with people. Not knowing what he going through, he just wanted me because he know who I'm in the room with. Long story short, they try to sell me to Rock Nation. I just fucked up the interview a long time ago. I was high, Molly, perks, weed, and I was supposed to be meeting somebody on Monday. However, they ended up coming on Thursday. However, I wasn't aware of this. So my first introduction, talking to this girl, when she reaches her hand out to meet me, I end up, what's up, you good, baby? You all right? You good, money? She, I hate him. Why? She deals with black youngster, and for some reason she's comparing me and him to be the same person. I'm just high right now. I don't act like black youngster as far as I know. However, it was just a bad introduction. That was the best introduction I could have had, because if I didn't introduce myself like that, I would have been signed to Rock Nation, and this guy would have been getting my money, and I would have been in the whole 360 deal. Long story short, we ended up branching off away from him because we started seeing the smoke and mirrors was getting too much, and we went a different way about it. Me and BD decided we were gonna get some money. Jay decided he was gonna still be in the forefront. However, BD ended up dying. BD dies. Well, my brother ends up getting shot. I end up going back to Richmond. BD sends me some money to take care of family. Before I can get back to BD, he ends up dying. You feel me? My mother ends up dying. A lot of people end up dying. So now it's to the point where Atlanta's over with. It's kind of burnt down and out the way. VA over with. Time to go to California and see what California got for me. Now I'm in California, and even a funny story, like how I met my fiance, it was kind of like hey, I seen her in Cali on Instagram, and she found a lot of money in a rental car. I don't know her from nowhere, and before she takes the money, she's showing a video of how she calls the person, gives the money back, and the person's so excited, I don't even know how many hundreds they peeled off and gave to her. I'm just like, okay, this is somebody I can trust when I get to LA. I get to LA, but before I get to LA, I contact her, like, look, when I get there, you mind showing me around, this, and that? She's telling me that she's in Miami, she'll be there shortly. So I'm like, all right, cool. And then around this time, I'm still on probation. I'm supposed to be checking in 3 days, but I'm like, I'm gonna go to Cali for 3 days and check back in. I was in Cali for 3 days, I ended up meeting her, and I never got back on a plane. And now we get back to the point where I'm meeting a Latino months later, putting my carry-on on this plane and on my way back to Richmond, where I should have been washing my hands off from it.
So Flocck, tell me what's next. What are you doing now? What is the goal? I know you've been working on a soundtrack. What's music looking like? In this interview, with what you think the audience should know about the new you, the new version of you, and how you're trying to add value to society instead of what you might say is taken away from society in your past.
That's a good question. However, it's easy to answer when you live in it. However, I had to rebuild myself. I had to reform myself. I had to let go of the past. I had to let go of anger. I had to let go of certain situations. I met a guy off of one of those trips named Ahmad Davis. That was from DMV, went to school in the 757 area prior to getting shot. And when I met him, he was still on his way up in the music industry, and a kid named Turtle connected us together. He was like, yo, you got good weed, I want you to meet this dude that's in the music industry. I meet Ahmad, we rub, we shake hands, we say we see each other later. Now, me being in Atlanta, after getting shot and all of this shit, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna give this music thing another shot, I'm gonna give it another try. And at this time, Ahmad had moved his way up. Now he's in the Rock Nation United Masters building. So he's like, look, let's do a conference call, let's reconnect, and let's see where that takes us. That $100 call turned into a lot of things after, because after that I'm taking a trip to New York. I'm getting a distribution deal through United Masters. It's my first taste of the industry the right way, and at this time, I'm not taking a 360 deal or an advance check. I want to come in the Master P route. I want to do everything myself. I want to be the label. I want to be the company. I want to be my own managers or hire managers. So it's to the point where it's like, okay, this rap thing is really working. Like, I'm walking in God's speed. I'm where my feet at. Ahmad got a lot of relationships and connections. So when we connect back, it's like, okay, this music thing might be the way out. Same time, it was like, I felt like I became a statistic, like, to the world and to everybody else's eyes. Like, damn, you were supposed to go to college. You're supposed to be the first one. How you end up back in the streets? And I always say this, like, yeah, I became a statistic. How I became a really successful one And life after getting shot was kind of hard too, because like I said, I lost resources, I lost family. It was a lot of chatter, you feel me? To the point where it was like, hey, he's telling on the people, he's telling on this person. People not talking to me no more. People not doing business with me no more. And it kind of bothered me for the longest, because in the streets, when you grow up in the streets, there's certain rules. We don't talk about certain things without evidence. We don't talk about certain things without paperwork. For me, the rules changed. I was a rat with no paperwork. I was a rat with nobody even saying, hey, he's telling on me. It wasn't even a person saying that. It was just all the people that I loved, that I connected with, that was going around saying, hey, you heard? You heard? You heard what? So that ate me alive inside too. So, and then I got the feds before they let me out of the hospital saying, hey, we got this person shooting you on camera. Would you like to come down here and point him out? Nah, I'm not doing that. Then I get subpoenaed to go to court. I get subpoenaed and I'm just like, oh, holy shit. Nah, it's not gonna work. Now I gotta go on a run. So for the last 5 years, from 2020 to 2025, I've been on a run, moving under an alias, working as an electrician, and still dibbling, dabbling in the streets. And even the electrician thing was, I watched 15 minutes of YouTube and then I put on a resume. I don't even know if I get in trouble for this. However, put on a resume, I had 10 years experience, and then I was like, yeah, demanding the money I want. Even that's a lifestyle I'm not accustomed to. I'm 32 years old. My first job, I was 30. And a full-fledged electrician with 10 years experience with one screwdriver. And that panned out a little bit better. It taught me the 9-to-5 life, how other people move, because before then, I'm used to a lot of money and people with a lot of money and doing things that people do with a lot of money around people who don't. So around that time, I don't know what type of animosity people have. I don't know how people may look at me. I don't know how people may feel when I'm saying, hey, fuck going to work for a week, bro. I'll give you that money. Let's go here and there. Like, to me, it's cool. However, working a 9-to-5, when you talk after getting a job, it's like, what? I got to stop working for what? Nah, because I'm living check to check, and if I let you do that, I may lose my job. Now, that factor doesn't exist in my life. However, I had to live on both sides of the fence to know how to walk upright now. Now, with the music thing it's moving, it's going. I had to turn myself in. I did with 13 days. They told me I might do 3 to 6 months. I was fucked up when they told me that, after they told me I had 11 days or something. But I went in, told them that. I had to appear in front of a judge, and when I tell the judge the same story I'm telling y'all, like, hey, in high school, I had to go to jail and do 14 felonies because of this reason. I decided to go this route instead of that route. I'm doing this now. I got shot doing this. I'm in jail because of this reason. I'm in jail because I don't want to tell on who shot me. And I'm looking at this Caucasian white lady in a robe. I wish I knew her name because I get it tatted somewhere on me. However, this lady looks at me and says, look, it sounds like you have never got a break in your life. And I'm sorry this has happened to you. And today, I feel like I'll be that person that give you that break. And I want you to know right now, I'm giving that to you. Please get out of my courtroom. It was like a lot of weight lifted off of my shoulders, a lot of everything, you feel me? Because I felt like my life was just a recycle bin. Hey, you can go to college, you can be a lawyer, however, you got to tell on these people. No, I'm not going to tell on them. Well, jail. Now you got to sell drugs. All right, whatever. Now I'm selling drugs to the point where, shit, the people that I took the 14 felonies for may be the same people who shot Flocck. That's tough. That's tough to live with, knowing, hey, I changed my whole life for people. And these same people, that wasn't enough for them, to the point where, from 2012 to 2020, 7 years later, 8 years later, these same people gonna be the same people that try to take my life. That's a hard pill to swallow. However, I told you I was a perkyologist, so I wasn't used to not taking pills. It was just hard swallowing that one, pause, you feel me? So getting out of that situation, getting released from jail, the way life is now it's more run and gun, more strive through your ambition, strive for the mission, make sure everything goes the right way. And learning from BD and J, shit. BD died, getting backdoored, set up by his wife, allegedly, you feel me? And I seen how that demise fell. I seen how the guy from Wall Street, shit, was probably more corrupted than the one who died that was flashy. So at the same time, took care of his family, took care of his sons, and changed his life around. have I seen both sides of the world. Now it's to the point where I'm living my own life. I'm learning from other people's mistakes while making my own in this world. And shit, I can't sit there and say my life turned out so bad. I got a distribution deal with United Masters and Rock Nation. I'm not dead like the rest of my block or the other blocks I'm tied to. I never sat there and wanted to be a dummy or just be tied to the drugs. I don't even trap no more, and it sounds good to say that. Like, I don't have to sell drugs. That's great. I feel good saying that. I feel good being next to my coach who assisted this play, even for like me being right here, right now. Like, my life is different. It's a small circle, a chosen few people. However, I probably wouldn't have been half of the man I am now if it wasn't for the Scoops or the Brewers or the Curtises or the Kassan Browns or the Theodore Mans, the Coach Mans, you feel me, that took me away from the streets, that tried to teach me something else. The Daniel Connors that taught me how to be a man, taught me how to cook and clean my chicken, you feel me, taught me how to be somebody that's known in the family household. Those type of things that instilled in me came a long way to the point where I could sit here and say, hey, Scoop, I'm proud of you, you feel me? Because you went from being a point guard in Meadowbrook High School and you still assisting young men, you feel me? I appreciate you, my guy, real shit. The people that you introduced me to, like Brewer, who got the #1 coffee spot in Virginia right now, you feel me? That still train me on my handles. Appreciate you, Brody. You feel me? Not to say like my father won't there too, shit. My father taught me how to be Islamic and taught me how to pray 5 times a day. Shit, his job was done. Even my mother, a lot of people say certain things like, well, I told my brother being locked up and I'm taking my nephew, I'm hot, take my nephew down there to show my brother, look, we got 40,000, nigga. Look, your son holding it. Like, he like, bro, but mom dead. I'm like, and what you talking about? Like, he like, what you mean, and like, I'm like, what, you want me to cry about it? You want me to, what? You want me to stop, nigga? You got 2 sons I gotta take care of right now. You in jail. What you want me to do? Like, weep? You want me to mourn her death? Like, I can't right now. And at the same time, that shit probably traumatic or something I probably should have done. However, when you got so much responsibility, it wasn't something that I could do. And I was never mad at my mother or mad at the situation. I thank God for it, because when she left, I didn't miss a step. I was trained to be the next man up. You feel me? So that right there was the best part of me. The fact that my family didn't lose a step after we lost our mother. At the same time, it took a chip out of the family. It changed certain relationships. However, we still know we family at the end of the day. I'm still here. Now it's to the point where I can talk to young men before they get to the point where they think all of their friends are really their friends, before one of them try to kill them. Before they gotta watch the movie Juice to understand that it's always one bishop in the crew, or maybe a crew full of bishops. You feel me? And everybody can't be Raheem. And a lot of Raheems don't make it. You know what I mean? Like, if you get that quote or get that reference that I'm trying to use right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Flocck. Thank you, man, for the interview. I appreciate you for sharing that, being vulnerable. And I look forward to seeing what you do next, brother.
I appreciate you, my guy.
God bless.
I appreciate the opportunity. And Gabe, Monty, Reese, USC, your nickname, Scoop, and Kwanzaa, appreciate y'all being here today.
Thank you, boss.